Joining me now is Pennsylvania Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean. She's a member of the House Judiciary Committee, which ultimately may be called up on to draft articles of impeachment. Congresswoman, thank you very much for joining us. As Jeff Bennett just laid out, he said the first 45 minutes, first hour of these public hearings, Democrats believe that they're going to be able to lay it all out if that's the only hour that the public watches. Are the Democrats basically saying that they're going to be able to convince the public in that first hour on Wednesday that the president committed an impeachable offense?
I don't think it's up to 1 hour, and it's not up to just convincing the people by way of one witness. But what we are going to see, and what we've already seen through some of the released transcripts, is career, courageous legacy employees, people who have worked in the State Department and other departments for our country, coming forward and corroborating the same pattern of abuse by this administration. They actually tried to extort the president of Ukraine, saying that we will withhold aid. Basically, they did withhold aid, and asked that he make sure he announces publicly investigations into a political foe. It's not going to be about 1 hour. It's going to be about getting the facts before the American public, and these courageous people are coming forward to do that. First, they have done it through the investigations that are being done in private, and now, this week, you will see in public, whether it's Mr. Taylor, Ambassador Yovanovitch, Mr. Kent, and others coming forward to tell the exact same pattern of extortion, the attempt by this president to demand, frankly, a foreign country to interfere in our elections. How sadly far we've come.
Are Democrats prepared for Republicans to gum up the process? We saw this a couple weeks ago when Laura Cooper, whose testimony was just released today, was supposed to testify. Republicans stormed the SCIF and held up that testimony for 5 hours. We've gotten indications and reporting from Republicans that they plan on doing just that when these public hearings start on Wednesday, try to slow up the process. Are Democrats prepared for it, and what will they do?
Americans saw that as the shameful stunt that it was, storming a SCIF that most of those members had the right and really responsibility to be in, to be there, to listen to testimony, to ask questions, and then flippantly order pizza. I'll tell you what, our caucus takes this very differently. We take this seriously, soberly, somberly. As Nancy Pelosi says, we take it prayerfully. We are on a journey for this country that is so serious and so grave that I hope our Republican counterparts on my committee and these other committees of jurisdiction take it for that somber moment that it is. It's impossible to believe that stunts are the way to go forward on an impeachment inquiry when the corruption and the wrongdoing of this administration has been corroborated by so many. So I call upon the Republicans to make sure that they take it with the same seriousness and talk about the facts, not nonsense.
Well, let's talk about the facts and the public's reaction to the facts. How much do you need the public to get on the side of impeachment before voting on impeachment? Are articles of impeachment contingent upon poll numbers that show the American public is behind impeaching the president? Does it need to be overwhelming?
I don't watch the polls, but I do believe that this is a case that we have to put before the American people and make sure that they understand and believe the evidence of wrongdoing, believe the evidence of a president on a phone call with Ukraine, asking this president, who is under foreign intervention, 5 years of invasion by our foe and their foe, Russia, to make sure that he comes forward with investigations of the Bidens, a political opponent, before he will get the much-needed aid he asked for. He asked literally for military aid, talked about javelins and the need for it, and the president said, I will need a favor from you, though. The American people have a right to hear the evidence, to know the evidence.
Yes.
And we need to put that before them before we come forward with articles of impeachment or the vote.
Let me ask you this. I ask about poll numbers because right now it looks like if there is an impeachment vote, it's going to be down party lines. No Republicans have shown support for the impeachment inquiry, and it's, I think, a high a high bar for a Republican to decide to vote to impeach the president as of now. So if the polling comes out that shows the public is overwhelmingly behind the Democrats on this, my assessment of the situation shows that that's the only way that Republicans might get on board. If it looks like their seats are in peril in some way, if their constituents want them to vote to impeach. So do you need to see those numbers to get the Republicans on board? And if not, are you comfortable having this be a party line vote?
Oh, dear. What you describe is awfully seriously grave. I hope that is not the way this is considered by anybody, Democrat or Republican. Our founders put in the ability to impeach a sitting president only for the most serious violations of his oath of office. So I hope that the Republicans take their oath of office as seriously.
I get when you say
we
you
are
hope,
bound
you hope,
to a
you
constitution.
Hope. I get that, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I do think we need to look at the landscape as it stands right now and what the Republicans have said and are willing to do to defend the president. So it seems like it is a very high bar for them. And my question is, are you comfortable making this a party line vote? Because that is where it looks like it is heading.
I will not leap to that conclusion because we have not completed the investigation. We have not completed putting the information before the American public. I hope this does not come down to a party line vote. I hope it comes down to the right vote, a vote based on the evidence and upholding my oath of office to the Constitution and the president's oath of office to the Constitution. I pray it does not come down to so cynical a party line vote. And I've never been one to say that no Republican will ever vote for impeachment. We're not there yet. Let's get the evidence out before the American people in a public way. There are very good people on both sides of the aisle who have the ability to analyze the evidence, I hope, without consideration for the next primary.
I hear what you're saying, but so many Republicans have said they refuse to read the transcripts. Look at Lindsey Graham as one of them. Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, Congresswoman, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Beat the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.